welcome to yet another very exciting edition of the program Tech Innovate. I am always very excited when it is 5:30 on Friday because I know it is Tech Innovate. Today's program is packaged full from our Gadget of the Week segment onto our interview segment and then to our DIY. My name is Ginika. Thank you for dropping your comment on our social media platform, and Tech Innovate will be right back. Let's go on this very short break.
Imagine a smart government agency enabled by smart people, smart processes, smart technologies, and committed to building smart public agencies across the nation. Welcome to Galaxy Backbone. One government, one network.
Wireless speakers are loudspeakers which receive audio signals using radio frequency waves rather than over audio cables. The two most popular RF frequency that supports audio transmission to wireless loudspeakers include a variation of Wi-Fi, while others depend on Bluetooth to transmit audio data to the receiving speaker. Wireless speakers are composed of two units: a main speaker unit combining the loudspeaker itself with an RF receiver, and an RF transmitter unit. The transmitter connects to the audio output of any audio device such as an hi-fi equipment, televisions, computers, MP3 players, etc. An RCA plug is normally used to achieve this. The receiver is positioned where the listener wants the sound to be, providing the freedom to move the wireless speakers around without the need of using cables. The receiver speaker unit generally contains an amplifier to boost the audio signal to the loudspeaker. It is powered either by batteries or by an AC electric outlet. Batteries may last for 3 to 4 hours. Some wireless speakers operate on rechargeable batteries. The signal frequency range used by wireless speakers is generally the same as that used by cordless telephones. The RF signal can traverse walls and floor ceilings. Most manufacturers claim that the signal transmits over a range of 150 to 300 feet. Many wireless speakers feature variable transmission channels that can be set using a tuning knob to overcome potential RF interference with other nearby wireless service such as cordless phones or baby monitors. Bluetooth devices use a radio communication system and therefore do not have to be in a visual line of sight with each other. Now, different types of wireless speakers are designed for specific needs. Stereo speakers can deliver both left and right stereo channels in a single speaker. Speakers designed specifically for outdoor use have a robust casing. Manufacturers claim these are waterproof. Home theaters utilize a specialized set of speakers in which only the rear speaker are wireless, while the front speakers are wired. Wireless speakers receive considerable criticisms from high-end audiophiles because of the potential of RF interference with other signal sources like cordless phones, as well as the relative slow sound quality some models deliver. Despite the criticisms, wireless speakers have gained popularity with consumers, and a growing number of models are actively marketed. Specifically, small and portable wireless Bluetooth speaker models have become very popular with consumers.
Imagine a smart government agency enabled by smart people, smart processes, smart technologies, and committed to building smart public agencies across the nation. Welcome to Galaxy Backbone. One government, one network.
Welcome back. Now, do you know that you have digital rights? Do you even know if there is a digital right? Now, do you know what your digital rights are? On our interview segment, we're discussing digital rights. Don't go away. Tech Innovate will be right back with our interview segment.
Imagine a smart government agency enabled by smart people, smart processes, smart technologies, and committed to building smart public agencies across the nation. Welcome to Galaxy Backbone. One government, one network.
You're welcome back. So on this interview segment, we're talking digital right, and I have with me Adeboye Adegoke. He's a digital right analyst. Will I call you that?
Yeah, advocate.
Analyst.
Policy analyst.
Blah, blah. Okay. So welcome. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So what is digital right? Because many people do not know that there is something called digital rights.
Well, another way to call it is internet freedom.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure people are already familiar with the concept of human rights, but if you now bring that concept to the regime that we currently have in terms of the influence of digital in our current world, to the internet and all things digital, you have your smartphones, your computers, and all of that. So the concept of digital rights is just a concept that says that people have rights online.
Okay.
So it's like human rights online.
Okay.
If I want to put it in a simple form, human rights online. So that's what we call digital rights.
So that's basically the right to access the internet.
Right to access the internet, to express yourself, publish, and right to privacy. Basic rights that are already provided for by the constitution of several countries in the world, almost all countries in the world. Just to assert the importance that those rights also apply, even though the world is changing and a lot of people live practically on the internet now. Just to say that those rights are also very important in the digital space. Okay, so let's come back home now. Do you think Nigeria takes digital rights really serious? Unfortunately, the answer to that is no. But not an extreme no, because globally there is this organization called the Freedom House that does what we call the Freedom of the Net reports. So Freedom of the Net reports, if you can call it digital rights report too. So it's kind of assess different countries based on how much they respect rights online and all of that. And Nigeria has not done badly, to be fair. Over the last 6 years, Nigeria has always been rated partly free. Partly free. So that's why I said we're not to an extreme. So the idea of partly free is that you are not you're not the worst around, but you are not there yet. You're not there yet. So over those period of years too, one or two things have been the reason why we cannot move to that free stage. For example, in 2015, I'm sure you remember when a senator sponsored a bill, this anti-social media bill, those kind of policy initiative will always cut off from our marks to take us back and all of that. So then another thing,
hate speech thing,
this speech that is also coming up now. It's also an issue. Also in 2013, and let me not say in 2013, from 2013. Nigeria budget has shown that the government is investing heavily in surveillance technology. Surveillance technology that's capable of monitoring what people are doing on phones and all of that. All of those kind of initiatives are not helpful in our rating in terms of how well we take rights.
Okay, so how do I know that my digital rights have been infringed upon?
It can be in different forms, and it's also important to state that it is not only the government that can infringe on your rights. Your friend can do all this. Revenge porn is an infringement on your digital rights. And identity theft too, when somebody sees your picture, maybe
takes it and create another
profile and all of that, it's also an infringement. But how do you know? I'm going to answer that question broadly. Sometimes you may not know. That's the reality, because like the issue of somebody creating an account with your picture, if you don't get to see it, you won't know, maybe until somebody brings your attention to it. However, generally speaking, and that's one of the issues that Nigeria have, the issue of digital rights unfortunately happens clandestinely. What I mean by that is that a lot of secret things happen, especially when it has to do with security agencies and government. For example, there was a news report just last week that the DSS bugs at least 75% of phones in Abuja. 75. So it's possible that somebody is reading all the text messages that you assume were confidential correspondence. Somebody is actually maybe getting inside to everything that you are doing and all of that. So sometimes you might not even know, but sometimes technologists to have come up with tools or devices to prevent those kind of happening, like what we call encryption tools. Like you would record at a point WhatsApp came out to say that now your messages are encrypted. In other words, there can't be a backdoor access. That's the whole idea, because sometimes you might not even know somebody is snooping on you. And with all the stories that have come out in Nigeria of government buying surveillance technologies, what it means is that you could potentially you are potentially being monitored without you even knowing, and all of that. So
that's infringing on my right.
Yeah, that's infringing on your right to privacy. But then it's very difficult to say specifically whether your right is currently being abused or not, and that's why government has to be transparent, because we need to also talk about what necessitated the purchase of surveillance technology equipment that they use to monitor and all of that. The only argument for it was security, because if you look at 2013, that was when the Boko Haram crisis became very serious. So of course a lot of contractors approached the government to say that, there is this technology that you can use to monitor terrorists and all of that. So those are always the reasons advanced to to go to purchase those technology. But at the end, the problem is that those kind of things are prone to abuse, and like somebody said, anything that is prone to abuse will be abused.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can be sure. So at the end of the day, what happens is that those things are bought for a particular purpose, but then used for other purposes by people who have access to them. There are people in security agencies, even some governors have been accused of monitoring their political opponents. There was a time a news outfit, I won't mention name, I think it's against the ethic of
I won't
mention name. They did a news report about some governors in the south region of Nigeria who were using monitoring technologies to monitor activities of their opponents. And I'm going to give you another
We've gone so far in this country,
of course. Let me just give you an example. There was a time the DSS released telephone conversation between Governor Fayose and Governor Wike.
Okay, now don't go there. I don't want to go into politics now.
Okay, I'm just trying to let you see how these things play out. You know. So it's so those technologies are there, but people use it for political ends as well, or for personal reasons. For example, if I work in one of these agencies and I have a girl that I like, I can use that to be stalking on her, knowing who she's talking to. And if I'm a jealous lover as well, I can use it to to even do a lot of things. All those things are, the point to be noted is that those things are prone to abuse.
Okay, so how do we strike a balance between digital rights and security, being that the major challenge in this country to digital rights per se is security, because we don't want to don't exercise your rights because of security issues. How do we strike a balance between them?
Okay, so let me first put this out there. We never find a balance, unfortunately. However, we can always improve on the system or on where we are. What we can see authoritatively based on research and observing trends from around the world is that for countries that respect digital rights or even rights generally, it also shows in economy. It shows they develop better. Then people trust the system better and all of that. There was a time during the Boko Haram war that I remember that some countries refused to sell weapons to Nigeria to fight Boko Haram because they believe that they can't trust Nigeria with those weapons. And this is why it is very important on the part of the government and security agencies to not indiscriminately just purchase equipment. There should be regulatory framework. That's where we need to work more. What we need to do is to ensure that while we are using this technology, rights are not abused in the process. Like I already said, it is very difficult to find a balance, but we can create a system that is trustworthy, whereby somebody knows that even if my right is infringed upon, I can seek redress. That is one thing that is lacking currently. What we just do is we just go for this technology, we start using them, so people don't even have opportunity, one, to ask questions, two, to even seek redress. And the current the recent let me say the most recent happening of digital rights violation in Nigeria is what happened. There was a news report that has been making round, and last week we heard that a couple of news outfits were censored.
Wow.
In other words, NCC working through NSA, the report came through one of these news outfits as well. They instructed a particular consultant or whatsoever to take down some news websites. Only God knows why, you understand. But the problem is that our security agencies don't display a spirit of accountability whereby they can convince citizens that, oh, we did this because we have to do it, and this is why we have to do it. So they just indiscriminately decide who to take down and who not to take down. Now, anybody will be naive to think that, oh, they are a security agency. If the NSA thinks something constitutes threat to national security, let them do their job and all of that. But it doesn't work that way. Anybody, like I said, anything that is prone to abuse, we abuse, whether it's NSA or SNA, whatever name you call it. Those are very privileged positions, and whatever they say are taken very seriously. So if NSA, for example, writes to NCC there's a chance that NCC will honor NSA because that's a national security advisor. But what we have seen even from experience recently during the 2015 elections, the then NSA said that election cannot hold because of security challenges, blah blah blah, and because of that election was postponed. That's to show you the power of that NSC. But what we have also noticed is that sometimes these things are politics, because what we know from the experience of 2015 was that they were just trying to re-strategize to make sure that the incumbent won the election, because those periods was the time that the incumbent now started campaigning. You can say that's an allegation, but it's true.
Let me pause you.
Okay, so let's leave the politics side and let's talk speak more to the issue. So the point I'm trying to drive home is that we are unfortunately in a system that is not transparent, no system of accountability, and no regulatory frameworks. That is the problem we have mostly. Nobody, even those of us that work as human rights advocates, we want security issues to be addressed, but we are not comfortable with how it is done here. Because
how can we tackle these issues using digital? Like we could bring. I'm trying to bring us now into the position where we can tackle security issues with technology, because that is one of the reasons why we have technology in this country, why we can accept technology. And like the program is like Tech Innovate. We're trying to open the eyes of people to, okay, I have rights for this. How do we, because everybody's just trying to swing away from trying to okay, let's move away from digital rights. You don't have this, you cannot do this based on security stuff. So let's bring it back home now to the layman at home. He also has security issues on his own. How does he protect himself?
Okay, so let me quickly address that question this way. In two ways. First, as an individual, how do you protect yourself? Everybody needs to understand digital security tools whereby you can protect yourself. The other time I spoke about encryption, people use VPN just to make sure that they are not being tapped into and all of that. So that's one way as an individual you can protect yourself, but also in helping, because security is not, and that's the point that I think our security agencies are missing. Security is not just the fight for the men in uniform, it's a fight for everybody. So for example, I can also use these technology tools, for example, to assist our law enforcement agents to, maybe I saw just before we started this interview, we were having a conversation about somebody I saw somewhere and I took the picture and all of that. I could have seen a crime scene and taking a picture that could help investigation and share with security agencies in an atmosphere of trust. But the question is, do you think I want to do that right now? You understand? That's why security agencies must put themselves in that position whereby citizens can trust them and not indiscriminately use technology. And also to make the point that I think what our security agency are also trying to do is also to leverage technology to address issue of crime and all of that. But what we are saying is that they have to do it right. If they do it indiscriminately, at the end of the day, we create more problems than we are solving, because people need to for us to benefit from the opportunities that exist in technology. People need that sense of freedom. If I want to do anything on my computer, I shouldn't be thinking that it's somebody reading what I'm doing, it's somebody monitoring. Some people will say, oh, if you don't have anything to hide, you shouldn't bother. But it's beyond that. It's like you saying that if I don't have anything to say, then there shouldn't be freedom of speech. You understand? Even if I don't have anything to say, there must be freedom of speech. If I don't have anything to hide, there must be rights to privacy. So it's not about whether you have something to hide or not. It's just a needed right. Everybody needs. There is nobody that doesn't have this private space where they want to be, they don't want it to come into. And we have to respect that. If I'm not a criminal, if I'm not under investigation, and when I say investigation, legitimate investigation, not investigation of political witch hunting and all of that. If I'm not under legitimate investigation, there is no need for me to fear that my phone is probably being monitored or somebody can read all my messages. I should have that sense of freedom. And it also helps innovation for the guys who want to code or do stuff with technology. When you have that sense of freedom around what you are doing, it brings out the best in you.
I think we'll just go on a short break right now. Tech Innovate will be right back. We've been talking digital technology. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Imagine a smart government agency enabled by smart people, smart processes, smart technologies, and committed to building smart public agencies across the nation. Welcome to Galaxy Backbone. One government, one network.
Welcome back. So if you're just joining us, you've missed a whole lot, but there's just one more thing you need to probably catch up with. I still have in the studio Adegoke, yes, and we're talking digital rights, right to privacy, right to use the internet, right to create things, right to freedom of what you want to say on the internet, yes. And he's talked about so many things. Now, finally, I would like to ask you, can digital rights thrive in Nigeria?
Yeah, it can. It can very well thrive in Nigeria. And I think let me use this opportunity to talk about policy and how digital rights can thrive in Nigeria. And like I had already mentioned, one of the challenges we have is that we don't have regulatory frameworks. It's the major challenge. Which regulatory frameworks is great because it gives people opportunity for redress. It gives people opportunity. It also kind of people who interact with technology, put them at checks to know the limit of the privilege that they have and all of that. So in Nigeria, for example, there are two pieces of legislation that I would like to quickly touch on, which are unfortunately they are not laws yet, but if they become law, they will help the atmosphere. One of them is called the Data Protection Bill, sponsored by the Speaker of the House of Reps, Honorable Yakubu Dogara. If that becomes law, at least people know that their data are protected and all of that. Then the other one is called the Digital Rights and Freedom Bill, which my organization is in fact directly involved with. We were involved in drafting, working with civil society organization to draft that piece of legislation. That one too has gone far in the House of Representatives. In fact, has passed 2 readings. It's going to the 3rd reading should happen any moment from now. If we have this regulatory framework in place, it then means that Nigeria will have made a strong statement about respect for digital rights of citizens. It will mean that we have created a system that can be leveraged upon to ensure that as we interact with technology, we discourage abuse of privilege, and we also encourage people to freely express themselves as long as they are doing so legitimately.
Okay, so we've had Adegoke, right? Adeboye Adegoke, talking about digital rights on the program Technology. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We hope to have you, as digital rights is being, what's that word now? As we make progress, in this country as digital rights. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
To update you.
Okay, so don't go anywhere. Taking a bit to be right now. Welcome back. Our interview segment was really insightful. I learned a lot. I know now that I have digital rights. I know how my right works. If you infringe on my rights, oh man, my privacy rights. I know that I have freedom of expression on digital and everything. I learned so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Adegoke, for that very insightful interview. Now, this is where we draw the curtain on today's episode of Tech Innovate. I know you learned a lot because, I learned a whole lot. To drop us comments on techie stuff, what you think and how you want us to get involved in your innovations. All you just need to do is drop us comments on our social media platform showing on your screen. Now till I come your way again with another edition of Tech Innovate, my name is Ginika. Enjoy the rest of the day.